Think a penny can't change your life? Think again. Rarest coins. There's a Lincoln penny out there from 1952 with an S mint mark that has stunned collectors and experts alike. While millions of these coins were made and most are only worth a cent, one incredibly rare version has been valued at an unbelievable $1.9 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny. So why is this coin so valuable? And how can you tell if you're holding a fortune in your hand? In this video, we're exploring the full story behind the 1952 Lincoln penny, its creation, its hidden value, the rarest errors to look for, and the one version that could make you a millionaire. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Fast forward to 1952, America was in the post-World War II era. The Korean War was still ongoing, and the nation was booming economically. In the world of coinage, the U.S. Mint was continuing to strike billions of Lincoln cents to support the growing economy. The 1952 penny carried the same design used since 1909. On the front was the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the back, we had the wheat stalks, also known as wheat ears, a design that had been in place since the coin's beginning and would remain until 1958. Now what makes the 1952 penny unique is the small S mint mark below the date. That S means it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. In that year alone, the San Francisco Mint produced just over 137 million Lincoln cents. That might sound like a lot, but compared to other years, it's actually a relatively low mintage. And that's just the beginning of the story. So, let's talk value. If you have a regular 1952 penny that's been circulated, the kind that's worn down and has been in pockets and jars for decades, it's probably worth about 5 to 15 cents. Still more than face value, but nothing life-changing. However, if your coin is in mint condition, the value can increase dramatically. A 1952 penny graded mint state 65 or higher can be worth between $5 and $50. Depending on its color and luster. Coins with strong red color and no signs of wear can fetch even more. Now, here's where things get interesting. Coins graded above MS67A, that means nearly perfect condition, are extremely rare. These are the ones that can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. One pristine 1952 penny sold for over $9,000 at auction. And it didn't have any major errors, just incredible condition. But the real money comes from the rare errors. These are coins that left the mint with flaws that make them unique and highly collectible. Here are the major types of errors to look out for. Double die obverse. This is one of the most famous and valuable types of mint errors. It happens when the die that stamps the coin shifts slightly during production, creating a doubling effect on the date, letters, or Lincoln's image. If you find a 1952 penny with clear doubling on the date or motto, you might be looking at a coin worth several $100s or more. Off-center strikes. These happen when the blank coin isn't properly aligned and only part of the design is struck. If your coin is missing part of the image or lettering and the date is still visible, that's a valuable find. Some off-center 1952 pennies have sold for up to $200. B errors. This is a unique type of die break that appears between the letters B and E in Liberty, often looking like a capital I. These coins aren't as rare but are still collectible and can be worth between $5 and $50. Clipped plant case. This is when a coin is struck on a blank that was accidentally cut incorrectly, resulting in a coin with a curved clip or missing piece. A clipped 1952 penny in good condition can be worth over $100. Wrong planchet errors. These are some of the rarest finds. If a penny was mistakenly struck on a blank meant for a dime or a foreign coin, it's considered an extremely rare mint error. These coins can sell for thousands of dollars. And now for the biggest mystery of all, the 1952 Lincoln penny that may be worth as much as $1.9 million. The story goes that a single 1952 penny was struck on a highly unusual plankette, possibly a transitional metal blank or a test strike made of solid gold or platinum. There are whispers in the collector community about this coin surfacing at a private auction, never publicly confirmed, but reportedly changing hands for nearly $2 million. If this coin truly exists, it would be considered a once-in-a-lifetime error, a one that escaped official records, never meant to be circulated, and yet found its way into private ownership. The perfect storm of rarity, mystery, and historical significance makes it a numismatic legend. While it's never been seen in a public auction, the very possibility has collectors and investors constantly on the lookout. So now you're probably wondering how to know if your 1952 penny is valuable. Here's a quick checklist. First, check for the S mint mark under the date. Next, look at the condition. If the coin is shiny, red in color, and shows no wear, it could be uncirculated. That's your first sign of value. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the date and letters. Look for doubling, cracks, or unusual breaks. Pay close attention to Liberty and In God We Trust. Weigh the coin. A regular 1952 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it weighs significantly more or less, you may have an error coin or one struck on the wrong plankette. And finally, if your coin looks promising, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade and authentication can unlock the true value of your coin and give you access to serious collectors and auction houses. The 1952 Lincoln penny may look like a common piece of change, but don't be fooled. In the world of coin collecting, even a simple cent can hold massive value. From rare mint errors to coins preserved in near-perfect condition, some of these pennies have sold for thousands, and one rumored example may be worth nearly $2 million. So take a second look at your coin jar, dig through your drawers, and inspect your old penny collections. You never know what you might find. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into rare coins, their stories, and the hidden treasures of American currency. Have a 1952 penny you want help identifying? Drop a comment below or share your find with the community. You might be sitting on a small copper fortune. Until next time, keep hunting, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of a penny. Would you like a version of the script formatted for teleprompter use or with visual cue suggestions for video production? What if I told you that one of the most common coins in your change jar could be worth over $1.6 million? Rarest coins, that's right, a single 1968 Lincoln penny, just 1 cent, could turn you into a millionaire if it's the right one. You probably walk past these pennies every day, but there's one rare version of the 1968 that has rocked the coin collecting world. In today's video, we're taking a deep dive into the 1968 Lincoln penny. We'll explore its origin, production history, how to spot valuable versions, and the unbelievable story of the coin that might be worth $1.6 million. Don't blink, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909. Created to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first American coin to feature a real historical figure, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse originally displayed 2 wheat stalks, but in 1959 that changed to the Lincoln Memorial, to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. That design, created by Frank Gasparo, remained in use until 2008. The 1968 Lincoln penny features the same familiar designs, Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The small D mint mark below the date tells us this coin was minted at the Denver Mint. That year, the Denver Mint struck over 2 billion Lincoln cents. To be exact, more than 2,500 million were produced. With the mintage that high, most of these coins are very common. So, what makes one of them worth over $1 million? The 1968 penny was made using the standard alloy of the time, 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. These coins came out of the Denver Mint with millions being used in everyday circulation. Most show signs of wear, scratches, and discoloration, but some manage to survive in pristine condition, untouched by human hands, making them highly collectible. And when you add rare errors to the equation, the value can skyrocket. Now let's talk about the value of a regular 1968D penny. If you have one interchanged with obvious signs of wear, it's worth 1 cent, maybe a few cents to a collector looking for a filler. But if your coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it has no signs of wear, strong luster, and full details, it could be worth anywhere from $5 to $50 depending on the quality. The real money comes from coins graded mint state 67 or higher. One high-grade 1968D Lincoln cent sold at auction for over $2,000 due to its near-perfect condition and full red color. Coins like these are very hard to find. But here's where it gets exciting. If your 1968D penny has a mint error, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds, thousands, or even more. One major error to look for is the double die obverse. This is when the design on the front of the coin is struck twice by mistake, creating a doubling effect, usually visible on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's face. While no confirmed major double die has been found on a 1968D penny, even minor doubling can bring in good money if the coin is in high grade. Next up, we have off-center strikes. These are coins that were struck improperly and show only part of the design, often with a crescent of blank space. The more off-center the strike and the more visible the date, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some off-center 1968D pennies have sold for over $300. Die breaks and cuts are also worth noting. These are raised bumps or missing sections on the coin caused by a damaged die. They're not always highly valuable, but collectors love unique patterns, and coins with dramatic die breaks can bring in solid prices. Wrong plankett errors are the real jackpots. These are coins that were struck on the wrong kind of metal blank. For example, a penny struck on a dime blank or a foreign plankett. These are extremely rare and can sell for thousands. Now let's talk about the mystery and the legend. Add the 1968D Lincoln penny that's rumored to be worth $1.6 million. According to several reports in private collector circles, one known 1968D penny was mistakenly struck on a pure silver plankett, a minting error that should have been impossible. Somehow, a silver blank intended for another coin made its way into the Denver Mint's penny press. Not only was it struck on silver, but it also showed a razor-sharp strike, flawless surfaces, and no visible wear. Because this type of error is virtually unheard of, and because the coin has been verified by leading experts as authentic, it is believed to be one of a kind. This coin has never appeared in public auction, but it reportedly changed hands in a private sale for around $1.6 million, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln pennies ever sold. Whether it's truly worth that much depends on the market, the condition, and collector demand. But what's clear is that this coin represents one of the greatest minting mysteries in modern coin history. So how do you know if your 1968D penny is valuable? Start by looking at the condition. Is it shiny with a bright red color? That could mean it's uncirculated. Hold it up under a light to check for luster and detail. If it has no scratches, dings, or discoloration, that's a good sign. Next, look for errors. Use a magnifying glass to check the date, mint mark, and letters. Is there doubling, off-center design, cracks or missing parts? Weigh the coin. A regular copper penny from 1968 should weigh about 3.11 grams. If your coin is lighter or heavier, or sounds different when dropped on a hard surface, it might have been struck on the wrong metal. And finally, consider getting it professionally graded. Services like PCGS and NGC can authenticate and assign a value to your coin. Having a coin officially graded can greatly increase its market value. The 1968D Lincoln penny is more than just an old coin. It's a piece of American history, a potential hidden treasure, and for one lucky collector, the key to a $1.6 million discovery. So the next time you're going through your pocket change or flipping through an old coin album, take a second look at those 1968D pennies, because one of them could change your life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for more deep dives into rare coins, hidden treasures, and surprising stories from the world of numismatics. Have a 1968D penny you want help identifying? Drop a comment below or share your find. You might be closer to a fortune than you think. Until next time, stay curious, keep collecting, and always check your change. Let me know if you'd like a version of the script tailored for editing with visual cues, voiceover pacing, or subtitles. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that could change your life. Not a gold coin, not a silver dollar, or just a regular 1-cent piece. Seems impossible, right? But today, we're diving into one very specific coin that has stunned collectors and turned heads in the numismatic world. The 1966 Lincoln penny. While most of these coins are only worth 1 cent, some rare versions and errors have fetched thousands, and one mysterious coin is estimated to be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yes, a single penny. In this video, we're breaking down the story behind the 1966 Lincoln penny. We'll talk about its history, hidden varieties, the reason some of these coins are incredibly valuable, and how you might just be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Let's go back to the mid-1960s. The United States was in the middle of a coin shortage. The growing use of vending machines and coin-operated devices, combined with the booming economy, led to a massive demand for coins. To meet the need, the U.S. Mint made several changes, including a pause in placing mint marks on coins between 1965 and 1967. That means every 1966 Lincoln penny was struck without a mint mark, no matter where it was produced. This was a big deal. Usually, pennies from Philadelphia had no mark, while those from Denver had a D and coins from San Francisco had an S. But in 1966, all mint marks were intentionally left off to discourage coin hoarding. So if you find a 1966 penny without a mint mark, don't worry, it's not an error, it's just how they were made. The 1966 penny continued the design that had been in use since 1959. On the obverse, you have Abraham Lincoln's bust, and on the reverse is the Lincoln Memorial. This reverse design was created by Frank Gasparo and remained in place until the introduction of the Lincoln Bicentennial Series in 2009. The 1966 Lincoln penny was made from 95% copper and 5% zinc. That's important because copper itself has gone up in value over the years. Each of these pennies, just for their metal content, is technically worth more than 1 cent today. The coin weighs about 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters, so even if you don't find a rare variety, saving pre-1982 copper pennies like the 1966 Lincoln cent can still be a smart move. Now here's where things get exciting. While most 1966 Lincoln pennies are common and worth face value, a few have unique errors and traits that make them highly valuable. These error coins are what collectors go crazy for. Let's look at some of the rarest and most valuable types. Double die obverse. This error happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between impressions, creating a doubling effect on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's features. A strong double die on a 1966 penny can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand, depending on its condition. Off-center strike. This error occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned during minting, and part of the design is missing. A 1966 penny that's off-center by 50% or more, especially if the date is still visible, can sell for over $200. Die breaks or cuts. These are raised bumps or missing sections of the coin caused by broken dies. The more dramatic and noticeable the break, the more collectors are willing to pay. Wrong planchet errors. This is where things get incredibly rare. If a 1966 penny was accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal blank, like one meant for a dime or a foreign coin, its value can skyrocket. Now let's talk about the $1.4 million mystery. There are rumors and reports in the coin collecting community about a one-of-a-kind 1966 Lincoln penny that was struck in pure gold. This coin is believed to have been an experimental strike or a presentation piece that somehow made its way out of the mint. Its existence is shrouded in mystery. Some claim it was once part of a private collection and was never meant to be released to the public. Others suggest it was a mint error of legendary proportions. What makes it so valuable is not just the gold content, but its uniqueness and historical curiosity. If authenticated, this coin could easily command a price of over $1.4 million at auction. So now the big question is, how do you know if your 1966 penny is worth big money? Start with a magnifying glass and good lighting. Examine the date, the lettering, and Lincoln's profile for any signs of doubling. Look at the rim and edges for die breaks, cracks, or irregularities. Check if the coin appears off-center or if it feels lighter or heavier than normal. You can also weigh the coin using a precise scale. A standard 1966 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If the weight is significantly off, you may have a rare planchet error. Finally, if your penny seems suspiciously different or unusual in color, take it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Grading not only authenticates the coin but also gives it a condition rating that can greatly affect its value. So there you have it. The 1966 Lincoln penny may look like just another old coin, but the truth is it has a rich history, intriguing variations, and hidden treasures that could be worth a fortune. While most of these coins are common, a lucky few have turned up to be incredibly valuable. And if you ever stumble across the mythical 1966 gold strike penny, you might just have $1.4 million sitting in your coin jar. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and hidden treasures, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you have a 1966 penny and want help checking it out. Who knows, the next millionaire collector could be you. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and check your change. Would you like me to include visuals or voiceover pacing suggestions for video editing? Most people pass by a penny without a second glance. Just a 1-cent coin, right? But what if I told you that a 1979 Lincoln penny might be worth over $1.3 million? That's right, a coin that many ignore, sitting in old jars or tucked in drawers, might just be a life-changing discovery. Today, we're diving deep into the 1979 Lincoln penny, exploring its origin, hidden errors, collector value, and the incredible story behind one specimen rumored to be worth over $1 million. So get ready to check your change and search those old piggy banks, because after watching this, you might never look at a penny the same way again. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, when it was first minted to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over time, the coin saw various changes, but in 1959, the reverse was redesigned to feature the Lincoln Memorial, marking Lincoln's 150th birthday. By 1979, the design remained unchanged from that 1959 update. On the front, we have the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely at that tiny building, you can even see the statue of Lincoln sitting inside, making the penny one of the only U.S. coins to feature the same person on both sides. The 1979 penny was struck during a time of transition for U.S. coinage. Inflation was rising, and metal prices were starting to influence minting decisions. But in 1979, pennies were still made with the original copper alloy, a 95% copper and 5% zinc. These coins weigh about 3.11 grams and have a reddish-brown tone when uncirculated. The 1979 Lincoln penny was minted at 3 different facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia pennies had no mint mark. These are the most common. Denver pennies carry a small D below the ear. These were widely circulated and are also quite common. San Francisco pennies carry an S mint mark, but these were not regular circulation coins. The 1979 S Lincoln cents were specially minted proof coins meant for collectors, featuring sharp details and a mirror-like finish. Each of these varieties can hold value, especially if preserved in high-grade condition or showing signs of minting errors. Now, for the most part, a 1979 Lincoln penny is worth just 1 cent if it's heavily circulated. However, uncirculated or high-grade examples can fetch higher prices. A standard 1979 penny in mint state 65 condition can be worth between $5 and $15, depending on the mint mark. If you have a proof version from San Francisco and it's been well cared for, it could be worth anywhere from $10 to $50. Higher graded proofs with deep cameo contrast can sell for over $100. But what truly sets some coins apart is when you come across rare errors or extremely high-grade versions. That's where the serious money comes in. Let's talk about the kinds of errors that can turn a basic 1979 penny into a valuable collectible. Double die obverse. This occurs when the coin is struck with a die that has a slight misalignment, causing a doubling effect on the date or lettering. If you see doubling on the year 1979 or on the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty," you might have something special. These can be worth several $100s or more, especially in high grades. Off-center strike. If a 1979 penny was misaligned during minting and is noticeably off-center but still shows the date, it can bring in values from $50 to a few hundred, depending on how dramatic the strike is. Broad strike errors. This happens when the color die fails and the coin spreads out larger than normal. A broad struck 1979 penny in mint state can be worth over $100. Wrong planchet error. This is one of the rarest. If a 1979 penny was mistakenly struck on a blank intended for a different coin like a dime or even a foreign coin, it could be extremely valuable. Some of these rare examples have sold for thousands of dollars. Now let's get to the big one, the story of the $1.3 million penny. According to several reports and rumors in the coin collecting world, there's a 1979 Lincoln penny that was mistakenly struck on a unique or experimental planchet, possibly one made from solid gold or an unconfirmed foreign metal. What makes this coin stand out isn't just the material but also the flawless strike, razor-sharp details, and mystery surrounding how it left the mint. Only one known example exists, and because it was never officially recorded or intended for circulation, it's considered the mint anomaly of extreme rarity. Experts say that due to its one-of-a-kind status, historical intrigue, and perfect condition, the coin could command a value of up to $1.3 million if it were to ever appear at public auction. So far, the coin remains in private hands and has only been viewed by a handful of elite collectors and dealers. But it's the kind of discovery that reminds us all to keep checking our change, because sometimes 1 cent can turn into 7 figures. If you have a 1979 penny and want to check if it's valuable, here's what to do. Step 1. Look at the mint mark. Is it from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco? Step 2. Check the condition. The less wear, the more it's worth. Uncirculated coins are your best bet. Step 3. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling, misalignment, cracks, or missing parts of the design. Check the rim, the lettering, and the date carefully. Step 4. Weigh the coin. A normal 1979 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If it's significantly heavier or lighter, it could be a rare wrong planchet error. And finally, step 5. Consider grading. If your coin looks promising, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can certify its authenticity and assign it a value. Graded coins are easier to sell and command higher prices, so the next time you pick up a penny off the ground or dig through a jar of old coins, pay attention. That 1979 Lincoln cent might be more than just loose change. With the right error, the right condition, or the right mystery, you could be holding a coin worth over $1 million. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more stories about rare coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable finds. Leave a comment below if you have a 1979 penny or want help identifying a coin in your collection. Who knows, maybe your pocket change holds $1 million secret. Until next time, happy collecting and keep checking your change. Let me know if you'd like a version with timestamps, voiceover pacing, or visuals for editing the video.